Chapter 3. This is the story of a lasting legacy for generations to come.
You know, I never use the word preservation because preservation means a static state, and nothing in nature is static. Wildlife conservation has to be a partnership with the earth. It starts with the soil, the teeny tiniest ant, our native grasses and trees, to the deer, to the rhino, and to all the creatures who are dependent on these wild places around us. Man is here to stay, and it's our job to be the solution. When we started down this road, we dreamed big. We saw an opportunity to make a change for our city that could impact the world. And look at it now.
I guess the thoughts were, if you dream it, it'll happen. So it was just really a dream come true for the animals, for Fort Worth, for the future of the zoo to keep going on, because I mean, this was just the start. We knew that we had to keep going.
This Saturday, the zoo will open 2 new exhibits and show off a new look.
I came from the Bronx Zoo, so to me, coming to Fort Worth was a little zoo.
Long lines formed outside ticket counters throughout the day.
I came down from New York, and other people came from LA, another one came from Seattle. So basically, we pulled in people from all over the country with a lot of ape experience, and they came in with new ideas. When this building first opened up, we had national coverage.
Good morning, Linda.
Good morning.
I was worried about losing my earpiece and the 2 baby gorillas running away from me.
Come on back here.
Probably not used to having a camera crew and lights around for breakfast either.
Okay, you really need to see this place. A multi-million-dollar structure that just opened at the Fort Worth Zoo. Truly one of a kind. The Fort Worth Zoo snipped ribbon last week on a structure it believes is unmatched by any other.
When we first started talking about building a new building, the original thought was we weren't going to have enough money or be able to fundraise for a reptile building, because again, a lot of people don't get excited about reptiles, right? But Mrs. Bass would have nothing to do with that. She was like, no, we're going to build something spectacular. It's going to be iconic, not only for the city of Fort Worth, but for this country. And that's one of the reasons why we entitled it the Museum of Living Art.
A prestigious honor for the Fort Worth Zoo today. The zoo receives the International Conservation Award from the Association of Zoos and Aquariums. It was recognized for its work saving Asian turtle species.
My view is that this zoo has grown from a small city-owned zoo to a leader, if not the leader, on a worldwide front on conservation.
These lesser flamingo chicks are the first to be born in a zoo to parents.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, the Texas Parks and Wildlife, and through them we're building and focusing on species that are endangered or about to become endangered. And we're trying to get ahead of that game and catch them before they are endangered. So that's where a lot of our programs have been formed, and that's the ones we're looking toward developing in the future.
Fort Worth Zoo has been hiding a very sweet secret. A baby elephant was born at the zoo about 3 weeks ago.
When we see this, we remember why we do what we do, why we work so hard, and why it matters.
I am so proud of the Fort Worth Zoo's work in conservation. It's equally as important, if not more important, than the entertainment aspect of the Fort Worth Zoo. It's incredible what the Fort Worth Zoo has done.
Our goal is to ensure that everyone understands the complexity of man's role in the environment, not only here, but around the world, and that they appreciate the marvelous natural treasures they have inherited.
Gosh, I don't know that there's a more important nonprofit than the Fort Worth Zoo because of the education it gives to our youth.
Education is so vital and so important because it is the next generation. That's what's coming. And we have to get kids excited about being the next conservationists, the next zookeepers, the next biologists.
Of course, I love the idea that they're going out feeling that you can do something positive for wildlife.
There is a dangerous disconnect between today's children and nature. I think we can agree The factual science-based education we provide and the stories we tell could not be more crucial.
Making the zoo so special makes children want to come to the zoo, and even schools bringing their students to come to the zoo is really important, and the way that she's changing and making the zoo more accessible is something that's really inspirational.
The Fort Worth Zoo's been a part of our family for many, many years. Fortunately, my grandchildren are just as ardent conservationists as I am, and my father and my grandfather. So it's impacted our family greatly.
What if future generations do not have an understanding or an interest in conserving the natural world? What would happen to this extraordinary birthright they have been given?
32% of all amphibians. Teaching them about zoos and their roles in conservation, and then they go out and they'll do these things as researchers or at other facilities.
There's really not a day that I don't come walk over that bridge on my way in the morning that I just kind of look out and have to pinch myself. And I'm like, wow, this is where I come to work every day. And it's fantastic.
You kind of have to scratch your head, say, how can something so good continue to get better every year?
There is no way I could have done this without the greatest zoo director in the world, Mike Foraker, our committed and tireless board president, Arden Moore, and the constant support of my husband, Lee.
I don't think I know anyone who hasn't been to the Fort Worth Zoo. I think most everybody in town, at some point in their lives, they get here. So I'd say come on out again.